What is up, everyone? This is Joe Rowan coming at you today with a little special edition of fantasy baseball. We're talking about the top 10 rookies in 2025 for your fantasy squads. So, we're talking about the young guns today. And just to start off, I'll be very frank. Rookies, they're a risk. Back in 2022, we witnessed Julio Rodriguez dominating his first season. That was great. In 2023, we saw Corbin Carroll do the same. 2024, we saw Paul Skeens display some wicked, wicked talent. But the majority of rookies do not perform like these guys. And making that kind of makes me question, whether or not should I really be focusing on rookies so much when it comes to fantasy baseball? To put it simply, they are very high risk and they typically don't have the experience or at bats to make a significant impact in the way of quality production. The percentage of players who come up and have immediate success is very low. Plus, some of them won't even start the year in the majors, even with the amount of hype they do have. However, if any of these rookies perform like we know they can, well, then you've found immediate gold in the back end of your draft. So evaluation is key when looking at these guys and when picking up which ones you want and which ones you trust most. So with that, let's dive in. Now, for each rookie, I'm going to give you a little background and their playing time outlook. So first up, we have number 343 in ADP, and that's Jordan Lawler of the Arizona Diamondbacks. So his playing time outlook, GM Mike Hazen suggested, when Jordan Lawler is ready to play with the major league squad, then Jordan Lawler will be up. He didn't get a lot of time last year with his injury, so that kind of blocked his playing time opportunity. Heading into this year, but I do believe at some point he will be up. Geraldo Perdomo did sign that extension, but a lot of people forget, they were up in arms. Oh, what the heck? When's Jordan Lawler going to play? Where's his path to playing time? A lot of people forget that Eugenio Suarez, his contract is up after this year. So I think he'll slot in nicely at third base. And I think, if something happens to Perdomo or Suarez this season, he could be up. And, even they've talked about playing him in the outfield some too. So, he's facing some prospect fatigue, but he's had a bit of, unluckiness when it comes to injuries, which stalled his 2024. But when he did come back and play in the PCL, the results were outstanding last season. He hit 367, 439, and 592. It was just 12 games, small sample, but you got to love this 343 ADP. So cheap for a guy this talented. Now, number 9 is Andrew Painter, and he comes in one spot ahead of Lawler at 342. Playing time outlook, Phillies president of baseball operations, Dave Dombrowski, has already stated that he's going to be held out until some point in the summer. He's not even pitching innings in spring training, but when he does come back, his innings, they're going to be very, very quality. He's the most talented pitcher out of all the rookies in my eyes. His ceiling is sky high. He'll be Philadelphia's ace once Zach Wheeler hangs up the cleats and starts to regress, which, could be a nice little passing of the torch between the two decades. The minor league numbers are all there for Painter, and with Tommy John surgery behind him, the future looks bright. Now, number 8 is Bubba Chandler, who comes in at number 301 of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Remember when fans were upset that Paul Skeens, they didn't call him up at the beginning of last season? Well, they eventually gave in, and it resulted in a Rookie of the Year performance. I believe, the same thing is going to happen. Well, maybe not the same thing. I don't know about Rookie of the Year, but he's going to get good results when he does come up. I believe he'll start in AAA Indianapolis, but it won't be long before Chandler is in Pittsburgh. Strikeout per 9 of 11.1 in a little over 119 innings pitched. That was eye-popping. He kept his walks and hits to a minimum with a 1.02 whip and only gave up 9 long balls for the year. He's going to form an intimidating trio with Jared Jones and Paul Skeens in that Pirates rotation. Next up, we have number 7, Kristian Campbell, the Boston Red Sox. And, man, it seems like he's been the talk of the town in Boston's camp. He struggled early on in spring training, but fear not, this dude is as talented as any prospect out there. And even, Alex Bregman or not, he's going to get called up at some point. Boston is very versatile in their position players, and Rafael Devers saying that he would, he's only a third baseman. Well, that could change if one person here or there goes down. And nothing to see here on Campbell. Only the minor league player of the year last year. Many are calling him one of the best prospects they've ever seen. It's a testament to his hitting prowess, and ability to play all around the diamond. And in 115 games across 3 levels last season, 20 home runs, 24 steals, and I don't think you're going to get much better than that, in 115 games. He's never going to be cheaper than this again at such an ADP. And whether or not he starts the season in Boston, I'd say he's going to be up. If he's not there in April, I think he's going to be up in May. He's that good, and I don't think they're going to hold him back. They want him up, and this Boston organization is doing all they can to get him there. Next up, at number 6, we have his teammate, Roman Anthony, coming in at 282. Like Campbell, it might be hard for Anthony to crack the opening day squad, but this Boston roster, it's got no spots, to fill at the beginning of the season unless an injury occurs. Which, it might be hard to crack the opening day roster. However, I feel that, they see Willie Abreu and Yoshida as potential trade pieces or even utility guys. So that makes the roster construction a little bit more flexible. If one of those guys doesn't perform also at the beginning of the season or a move happens, Anthony's going to be brought up. There's an argument to make him the number 1 overall prospect in the game. And I wouldn't be mad if that was indeed the case. He's number 2 right now, and he's shown no signs of slowing down in his young professional career so far. He's only 20 years old, so young. I do, however, want to remind everyone, remember we all thought, oh man, Wyatt Langford, he was the talk of the town last year, and I do believe Wyatt's going to have a good season this year after a little bit of experience, but face your first year of major league pitching, it's tough. So just keep that in mind with a guy 20 years old, like Roman Anthony, like all these guys. It might be shaky at first, but as the season goes along, I think they'll really help you. Next up, we have number 5, who's Jackson Jobe of the Detroit Tigers, coming in at number 275. Jobe, he's currently listed as Detroit's 5th starter at the moment, and that's why he's number 5 on the list. He's got a guaranteed spot, and he's got all the minor league numbers to back it up. He's going to be pitching in a pitcher's park alongside a very young and exciting squad who shocked the baseball landscape last season. And we saw him pitch a bit out of the bullpen last year, though he's going to be beginning contests now on. And, Andrew Painter, Bubba Chandler, and this guy, man, those are 3 very young, very bright arms. And the electricity in Comerica Park is going to be real this season when Jobe starts games. So invest in that number 275 cheap price, and you can get a nice back of the end starter. Next up, we have number 4, who is Matt Shaw, the Chicago Cubs, coming in at number 270. This University of Maryland product has said that he has been said by many scouts that he does not have a flaw in his hitting profile. Now, everyone certainly usually has a flaw, but they didn't see a whole lot of errors down in the minors. His results were amazing, and he's an elite product. Major league pitchers will challenge that notion, but his power and speed offer plenty of reason to take him later in drafts. He's a baseball rat, dedicates himself to the game, characteristics you love to see out of a guy. And most importantly, he's got the Chicago Cubs third base opening job. I think as of late, they said that they think he's going to be ready for the Japan series. So they struck out on Alex Bregman, but fear not. They got a guy like Matt Shaw, who's a rising star, and think Cubs fans and fantasy managers who draft him are going to be really happy with the results. Number 3 is Jasson Dominguez, who is coming in at number 143 of the New York Yankees. And Dominguez, he's like Shaw, he's going to have the opening day spot, and a lot of what the Yankees do offensively is going to depend on him. He's the starting left fielder for the Yankees, and I'm excited to see what he can do. He only played in 26 major league contests thus far, but still owns his rookie eligibility. Many have even mentioned he could be the Yankees leadoff hitter, something to keep an eye on. That would even increase his value. And if he does, hitting in front of Aaron Judge, has its perks. A little bit of prospect fatigue with him as well, since we've literally heard about the guy since he was 16 years old. Yet the hype is warranted. And just gazing at what he did down in the minors all that time, I see what people are talking about. He's going to have all the opportunity in the world. He's stolen 40 bags a year down in the minors. So I think this guy's the real deal. Coming in at number 2 is Dylan Cruz of the Washington Nationals, who is coming in at number 131 in ADP. Now, his playing time outlook looks great. He is going to be a starter for the Nationals, and he's going to be a staple in the lineup for years to come. He's projected to bat second in a young lineup that has much promise. Him and James Wood are the 2 keys there, and he should be playing every day with a nice average boost for your fantasy squad, in addition to healthy steals totals. He's actually come out publicly and stated that he wants to steal 40 bags, and when a player wants to do that, when he's got incentive to steal, you're going to want to invest. Him, Wood, CJ Abrams, they got a bright future, this squad, and he's shown good contact rates so far. Even though the power was not there last season, he only played 31 games, and he still stole 12 bags. So the power will come eventually. It might not be 40 homer type of power, but 20, 25 homers, I could see that. So stay patient with him. And now, number 1 on the top 10 rookies list for Fantasy Baseball 2025 is Los Angeles Dodgers prized product Roki Sasaki. Everyone was mad that he didn't go to San Diego, but he teamed up with the champs. And he's penciled into the Dodgers rotation this season. I think he's going to start one of the games in the Japan series against the Cubs. And he's got all the ability in the world, folks. You saw it in Japan, you saw it in the World Baseball Classic. And once Shohei Ohtani comes back to the mound, the Dodgers have actually suggested it will be a 6-man rotation. This could help retain his arm health. Though I do want to warn you, just like Yoshinobu Yamamoto last season, it was a struggle at first. Facing major league talent, major league bats at first can always be a little frightening for first-time pitchers. So at an ADP of 95, it's an expensive price, but he's probably the most talented one out of all these rookies. So if you want to take that chance, go ahead. I think I'm more out on Sasaki this season just because that expensive price. He could make me eat my words though and be great from the start. So we'll see how he fares. And with that, that is my top 10 list of fantasy rookies for 2025 fantasy baseball. I would encourage you all to subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you guys here. Hit that button. And also, if you want, you can DM me on Twitter at jrose34. You see it right there. And you can slide in my DMs, ask me any questions about fantasy baseball. Would be happy to answer them for you. So with that, until next time, thank you very much, everyone. See ya.